everyone, welcome back to Poppin' In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Alexa.
I'm Molly.
And we're your go-to pop culture friends. Welcome back for another exciting week. Couple of cooks in the kitchen here.
And today, can I say this?
Yeah.
And we happen to be recording on a very special little day.
I don't know what it could be.
Alexa's birthday.
Bow, bow, bow. Yes.
Happy birthday.
By the time by the time this hits your ears, I'll have aged by 2 days. But, yeah, it is my birthday. And you know what? It's been very exciting. I got a little donut this morning for myself, and I worked. And
Great.
Now I'm like, there was no other, you were like, do you want to record on your birthday? I was like, I couldn't think of a better way to spend this day. I was like, we're going to have some fun. Chris is going to make us dinner. And
we're gonna
my sister got us cupcakes. We're good.
Yeah, we're talking pop culture, which is our favorite topic. So What else do we need?
There's a lot of fun
What else
topics.
do we need, America?
Yeah, exactly.
What else do you want from her?
Thank you. Yeah. Today is my day, unless when you're listening to this, it no longer is.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyways,
it's your week.
Yeah. So what are you popping with this week, Molly?
Okay, I'm actually really excited. I'm popping in with my A24 subscription, which I did a little.
Oh, yeah.
I gave a little treat to myself. But I'm just so excited about it, and it's going to go into our first topic today, but I'll let you speak as well on yours. But first,
Yeah.
But I got an A24 subscription, which if you have a membership, you get a free movie ticket to every A24 movie opening weekend. Sometimes you get extra tickets for your friends.
Yeah.
That includes you.
Yay.
Unfortunately, this one did not have extra tickets included.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. But my first one, I used my first ticket this weekend.
How did it work? Did it just when you
On the app, you literally just you click redeem and it shows you your location of
that's
and you
nice.
can just buy the ticket there. So
there you go.
it's very exciting. I just feel like it will open me up to more movies that I wouldn't have otherwise seen.
Yeah. Well, hopefully if they come to a theater near us, as always, we're always complaining about bringing the movies to us.
Yeah. But thank you, Regal, because you did actually show this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get discounts on merch.
Yeah.
I got a little free birthday gift.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's
Very
worth
exciting.
it. A little subscription, a little something in the mail that you forget.
It's something so exciting to
Yeah.
look forward to when you just get little things.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
I love mail, as I talked about in a previous
Yes.
episode. Yeah.
You do.
Exactly.
What are you popping in with?
So this may come as a shock to some people. Barnes & Noble, okay? I was thinking about this the other day. So after we saw the movie we're going to talk about, Molly and we rode together, and I was like, I have to pick up something from Barnes & Noble. I was like, it's just one thing. It'll be quick.
Yeah.
Both of us got so distracted so
Yes.
quickly. We were just diverging. We were on our own little
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble journey.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a special place it is, because it has something
is.
for everyone, truly.
Truly. And it was to the point where you were so distracted almost immediately upon walking in
Yes.
that I was somehow ahead of you, and I kept stopping so you could get ahead of me, but you were just where do you want to go? And I was
Yeah.
no, I'm following you.
Yes.
Where are we going?
And at one point I actually was what did I come in here for? I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Barnes & Noble, in case you didn't know, that
if
is...
you haven't heard of it,
Yeah,
give them a little indie store.
Yeah. And it was just lovely. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I always have I feel like it's a privilege to go into Barnes & Noble with you, because it's your
Aw.
territory.
I have been going to that Barnes & Noble my whole life. My dad in the
Yeah.
summer used to bring me, and I would just sit there for hours while he had his meetings.
It's your Busch Gardens.
Yeah. Which sometimes I think about, I was maybe 11 years old, and he was just okay, well, I'll see you in 4 hours.
Oh,
No supervision.
11's fine. I was picturing you being 4.
Oh, no.
Do you remember there was a Barnes & Nobles I used to go to when I was little that had the children? I wish this one had it. Not that I would need it, but the children's section, where it's there's a little stage and a little seat. I don't think this.
They definitely have the children's section that's painted like the children's section, but some of them, I know what you're talking about. It was
they
a
have,
kind of magical little space.
I remember just sitting there and it's a whole thing.
Yeah. So Barnes & Noble, if you're listening, sponsor us. I would do anything for you.
Yeah.
As you know.
Aw. What if that one closed?
No, it is one of my greatest fears.
Yeah.
Because the other one in town closed, and if this one closed,
I think I'd cry.
move. I would move. I'd be I gotta have one Barnes & Noble in town. That's insane.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna drive to Newport News? I don't think so.
Okay, well, please don't move.
Well, Barnes & got to keep it in business.
Yeah, guys, please.
Yeah, go shop at your local, but also support indie bookstores too, which I did.
Actually, yes.
I
Which
bought.
we did do this weekend too.
Yes, we did actually.
Separately.
Wow. Yeah. But anyways, so the movie that you got with your A24 subscription was Tony.
Yeah, we saw Tony this weekend, and again, this is not a movie I would have seen otherwise. Like you know me. You all know me by now. I don't like biopics.
That's right. I forgot. This one doesn't feel like one, though.
It didn't, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit, too. But I think this one... So I don't like biopics. I also, I'll be honest, don't know much about... I actually knew next to nothing about Anthony Bourdain.
Same. I mean, like, I knew who he was, obviously, kind of what he did. But I was like, should I read his books? I bet they are pretty good. And, like... Yeah. But I was like... This movie was so good. It
was really, really good.
And it was also both movies that we saw this weekend, a cool hour 40.
Yes,
like,
please.
Perfect runtime, which I saw other people saying in reviews of, like, these movies where they were like, it's not that it necessarily needs to be a short movie, but, like, when they can do it in a short amount of time, it's like, well, that was fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw it in the middle of the day, which is jarring to come out of a movie theater.
It is very strange.
Yeah, but it was so hot. Like, what else was I going to do that day?
And we just say it was like 2 good movies out this week. And again, normally we'd wait till a Tuesday, but it just it just worked out. We got to see we got A24, like they make us see them first weekend. So sorry,
really?
Yeah, that was why I had to see it by the 24th, or 23rd. But anyway, yeah. So we saw Tony, and I really, really liked it. I thought it was, again, I don't like biopics, but I felt like this movie was very moving.
Yes, and I like a biopic that's like a slice of life biopic. So this one follows Anthony Bourdain in the year of 1975. And it's like kind of his introduction to like the culinary world. And so it's not like you're not getting like birth to the end or anything like that.
Yeah, it all takes place over the course of one summer. One summer in Provincetown.
And I like that little like microscopic look at a person's life.
Yeah, because it's interesting because this movie is set, or the summer that this movie takes place during is said to have been like his inspiration. Mm-hmm. And it's based on multiple stories from his 2000 memoir, Kitchen Confidential. Mm-hmm. And so just to kind of get into it a little bit, it's directed by Matt Johnson, which I've never seen a Matt Johnson movie before. And it was good. And then it stars Dominic Sessa as Anthony Bourdain, or Tony, and Amelia Jones, Leo Woodall, and Antonio Banderas.
Yes. And Amelia Jones, I didn't know this. The character she plays ends up being his first wife.
Yeah, Nancy. I didn't know that either. Well, again, I knew nothing about him. So I wouldn't say this movie taught me a lot, but in doing the research after, I did learn a little bit more. But
Nancy is such a 1970s name too.
It's really, I feel like it's very like 50s.
Well, like it is like 50s, but if you're like, she probably was born in the 50s, so that makes sense.
But I will, so just to kind of go into it, the movie starts out with a quote by Anthony Bourdain that says, "I was, to be frank, a spoiled, miserable, narcissistic, self-destructive, and thoughtless young lout and badly in need of a good ass-kicking." And I thought, like, in the moment, I was like, okay. But in hindsight, I felt like that was actually a perfect quote because it's such, like, an understatement of who he was when you watch the movie. And it really ties in the ending. Like, this movie, the thing about this movie was I felt like it was very much like a coming of age. Yeah. It was like basically about how he found his passion and became a better person. Right. And I will say this movie it's interesting. It's not really based on one specific story. It's a combination of multiple stories. Right. So you kind of have to take it for what I feel like this movie is sort of the like typical biopic. They have to kind of make it into a clean story a little bit. It was very feel good. I don't know how you felt. I wouldn't say overall there was a ton of depth to it.
I feel like there was and there wasn't. Like, it was feel good, but it felt very raw and gritty at certain points because, like, Tony, he's, like, a very unlikable person. He is, and I actually was thinking about this earlier. In terms of biopics, I like when they do that. Like, they're showing you, like, it humanizes him because he's, like, he's kind of like an asshole, but, like, he redeems himself in a certain way. Yes. Whereas I think of, again, I haven't even seen this, but I can imagine, like, with the Michael Jackson biopic where they, like, kind of really, like,
victimize him.
Yeah, or, like, they gleam over maybe some of the bad parts of his personality. I don't mean, like, the stuff with the kids or whatever. Just, like, not everyone is, like, this angelic person. Like, you gotta, like, and I think that sometimes can take away from a biopic. Yeah. Whereas in this, I was like, they really showed like the complexity of this person.
Right. Like, it reminded me of A Complete Unknown.
Yeah.
The Bob Dylan one, because, again, he was not likable at all. But the difference between this and A Complete Unknown was that I feel like it ended with Bob Dylan just being Bob Dylan still. He didn't really learn anything. Like, you're just kind of like, he's a complete unknown. Like, he just rides away on his motorcycle, and you're just kind of like, I mean, it's who he was. But I feel like with this movie, it was very much... it was like a coming of age movie where he's learning who he is and he becomes a better person. They really like show him as like a pathological liar too, which I thought was interesting. I will say, so I say this doesn't have a ton of depth because I do think it kind of just, it's very much like a story. You know what I mean? And I think it doesn't, it was interesting to me that it didn't lean into, and again, I know that this is just one summer, but it didn't lean into like his depression or mental health issues at all.
Yeah. Which maybe that could have
that's
not
fine.
come
Yeah,
till later.
I think that's exactly. I don't know, because I thought there was an interesting point in the story in the movie where Antonio Banderas' character is telling him a story about a character who commits suicide, and Anthony Bourdain or Tony is like, why would he do that? Like, he seemed all surprised. So I thought that was kind of an interesting choice.
It felt very heavy-handed.
It did, yeah.
However, I will say the way they portrayed his character, I was kind of like, I could see this person later on in life really struggling with mental health issues.
Yeah. I agree. But I thought it was interesting because like I said, it compressed multiple stories. Mm-hmm. So... for example, so Antonio Banderas' character, he starts working at this restaurant, and Antonio Banderas, who I actually thought was the best part of the movie.
Yes, and he could have been cast so poorly. Like, his casting was, like, spot on.
His acting and his character really moved me, and his name is Chef in the movie, like, just simply Chef. Like, they don't know his name. And he's based on actually several different mentors in Anthony Bourdain's life. So there was no just one person.
Yeah.
And there were a few things that just weren't like fully true, but I feel like that's fitting for about a character who's a pathological liar. You know,
yeah.
It's like there's not really it's not the full story. I don't know.
Right.
But I loved Antonio Banderas, and I loved Leo Woodall's character. Like those two to me were, I don't know, those were the standouts to me, because I think it's interesting because I think this, biopics are typically like Oscar bait, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, because after watching the movie, I was kind of like, I wouldn't see, and I really like Dominic Sessa a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'd be surprised if he got nominated for this.
You know what? I was making coffee earlier today, and I planned to ask you this exact question. And I was like, I don't think it'll get nominated for, like, Best Picture or anything, but I could see
Antonio Banderas being nominated.
Or Leo Woodall, for Best Supporting Actor.
Because I actually thought Leo Woodall was I thought they were really good. Dominic Sessa didn't super stand out to me in this. And it might have just been, and no disrespect to Anthony Bourdain, but I also just think, his that character was not as interesting as the other two characters who are not real.
Right.
So I don't know.
I do think again though, I think they made him very real in terms of I love he kept being well, I'm a writer. Yeah. Which I always think it's interesting, the people who start out to do something and they end up doing something else, you know?
Yeah.
But I loved at one point Antonio Banderas is I haven't seen you write a single thing all summer. And I was typical writer. You know what, honestly? And I thought that was, I could see that for him, but I also think it's interesting, I don't know what else Dominic Sessa's been in besides The Holdovers, and I'm I haven't seen him outside of this time period.
I've only seen, that's true, actually. He looks very 70s.
Yeah.
Because I think when does The Holdovers take place?
I think also 70s, the late 60s, early 70s, maybe?
So he was in the new Now You See Me, but that's the only other thing I've seen him in. Did
he fit the time,
I mean, it was modern time, and he was fine. I think it's weird because I do think he's good.
Yeah.
And it's not that he wasn't good in this. It just his acting just didn't particularly stand out to me. After I saw A Complete Unknown, I was like, wow, Timothée Chalamet should I wouldn't be shocked if he won the Oscar for this. He was really good. But I don't know what it was, but he just didn't he was good, but it didn't super stand out to me. What did stand out to me was also, along with Antonio Banderas, just the setting was I was like, oh, it makes me really want to go to Cape Cod.
No, I was going to say, I think the vibe was a character in itself, because it was they had a filter kind of on the movie that was 1970s, and it's in Provincetown, which I was telling you would love. It is the gay capital of the Northeast. It is like fantastic. It is so fun. The food is so good. It's beautiful.
The food was making me like drool. Like I wanted to eat the food so like every time I showed a lobster roll or any like lobster, I was just like, like it looks so good.
What was stressing me out though, and I always think about this whenever I watch stuff from like the 70s or whatever, where it's like, oh, if someone stole all your cash, like you would be kind of screwed.
Would literally be screwed.
Like you don't have a phone, you can't just like, you know.
I know that was stressing me out too, because the whole in the beginning he kind of like runs off. This isn't a spoiler. This is just the beginning of the movie basically. Yeah. But he does like leave his family and just like runs off to Provincetown. He follows a girl there, who part was a little untrue as well, creepy, but also untrue because in real life I think it was he and Nancy went there with friends.
Oh, okay.
So that was like just part of just kind of for a lot of the story was dramatized.
Yeah.
But he follows this girl Nancy there, and he ends up getting his money stolen, and so when he's like in line for like a bus ticket, he's like, well, I can't leave,
right?
I don't have money.
You don't have like a credit card or anything where it's like even if you run out of money, you can like I guess borrow against yourself or something.
Yeah.
Which like, is good probably in certain circumstances, but it's like, well, if I don't have a place to sleep. But then it's like also I feel like the kindness of strangers is a little bit more back then. Like the fact that Antonio Banderas is like, yeah, you can sleep on my porch, I guess.
Yeah, he lets him sleep on his hammock on the porch, and it's like, first of all, amazing sleep. Like imagine that sleep every night. Like that'd be so because he lives on the beach.
Kill you, but luckily he's like
21. But he's like a boy. And I turned to you, I was like, boys can really sleep anywhere.
No, truly.
Like they don't care whether they have their own bathroom. Like they don't care.
Yeah.
But I love so Antonio Banderas' character again was like really the highlight for me, and he just felt very lived in. And he wasn't a real guy, but he was kind of several guys, I think.
Yeah.
But I mentioned this to you during the movie, but there's a scene where he makes his own ketchup and he puts them in Heinz bottles, and I turned to you and I was like, why is he putting them in Heinz bottles if he's like making his own ketchup? And I don't know if this was like it, but I really like thought about it later. I was like, that just to me showed his character.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just very like really telling of who he was, because he could have like taken the Heinz stickers off, but he like the labels, but he doesn't seem to care that, about like credit. Like he's just like, he's just delivering good products to people, and he doesn't care about getting credit for his work.
Right.
And I feel like so he really like teaches Tony just the value of
And also like it goes to show, because he was doing that like on a Sunday when they were closed. So he goes in on Sunday and spends half his day making ketchup, of which you could easily buy, and he washes the bottles and reuse. I'm like, okay, and he also understands the value of a bottom line, I think like it was just a really enjoyable movie, like a very good biopic. And I just like, and there were also like funny parts too. Yeah. There were also like stressful parts.
The fight between Antonio Banderas and Leo Woodall like was so good. Leo Woodall's character was kind of this. He was interesting, actually.
Yeah, his accent was interesting. He was doing a Massachusetts via England.
And it just sounded so British.
Yeah.
But I love him.
I do too.
But they get in this really, like, realistic fight, and it was just, like, so stressful.
Yeah.
And it was all because of, like, literally it started with, like, oyster shucking.
Right.
But I just was like, wow, this is just, I don't know, it just, that scene was kind of, like,
right.
Not touching, but it just was like a little bit like a moving moment.
And I think they do a good job with the characters in that you get these like little tidbits of these side characters that never get like fully explained. Yeah, so, and you don't need to. Like Leo Woodall, every time he like sleeps with a girl, he takes a piece of wood out of the like doorway and he puts it in a jar. Why? We don't know. Or even like the restaurant worker, like you see her at the end, she like comes to get food or whatever, and she's with either her friend or her girlfriend, I don't know, who has a baby, but you're like getting just this little glimpse into her outside life. And it's like things like that where it's like, I don't need a full backstory on every character, but like things that show like, oh, they exist outside of the main character's story.
It reminded me a lot of The Bear, when The Bear was like particularly good in the early seasons, where they're just like, there's a lot of laughter and like talking and yelling in the kitchen, and it felt very natural how the actors like talked to each other and interacted with each other. It did remind me of like the early seasons of The Bear and like kind of what made people drawn to it.
Right. Yeah.
But the only person that I kind of was like, I don't know about was, as usual, I feel like the female character especially in a biopic, was very like underwritten.
Yeah.
And I felt like, so Amelia Jones played Nancy, who again, he is actually later married in real life, even though they did make it seem like in the movie they didn't stay together, and also that he like stalked her. But anyway, I didn't really feel like there was a ton of depth to her character, and I just feel like oftentimes that's what happens.
Yeah.
I felt like she was a little underwritten.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell you anything about her really outside of her relationship to the character. Like, she doesn't really get a lot of, like, you know, she has a cousin and she works in this pizza place.
Yeah.
But I'm like, actually, I guess does she want to be a photographer? She's like taking photos of him. But I'm like, but we don't get any of that. So,
yeah.
I don't know. But I do really like her as an actress. She was in Task, and she does this, like, really good but, like, kind of crazy Philly accent. And she's British.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, you did tell me that, and I was like, there's so many British people.
Always. It's the next invasion, you know? But yeah, I mean, overall, I would say go see it. It's, again, a good little hour 40. It's, like, definitely, like, a love letter to, like, food and kitchen staff in a way. And I have a question for you. If they're going to do, like, a slice of life of your life so far, what slice do you think they would do?
I wish you would give me these questions, like, ahead of time.
I only thought about it while we were talking, so...
Okay, I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Think about it, let me know. Also, let us know. You guys think about it.
Yeah.
Let us know. If
like, you got to give me these questions ahead of time, because then you answer, but I don't have an answer.
I only thought about it, like, 3 minutes ago.
I don't know.
Mine would probably be my junior year of college, because it was, like, the 1 year that I wasn't, like, dating anyone. I was, like, going out and doing my own thing. Like, I was heavily involved in the newspaper. Like, it was the year that I think I felt, like, most like myself, I think.
Yeah, I would say it would be, like, one of the last, like, 2 years of college for me, too.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that the year I moved out of my parents' house as an adult, I could have been if it weren't for COVID. Like, I was like, I could feel, I was like, this year is becoming where it's like, I'm like, oh, this is my year. And then suddenly it wasn't anyone's year.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Let me know.
Well, I think I did. Like, that was my answer.
Oh, your last year of college.
Yeah, like one of the last 2 years of college, probably. I don't know. But again, I need more time to think about it. So you gotta give me some
ponder.
Heads up.
Okay. I thought about it like 3 minutes ago. So
I know, but you knew your answer.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought about it. I knew what I was going to answer, and then I was like, I'm curious what yours would be.
Yeah. Well, give me more time.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good movie, and I actually really recommend it.
And maybe you want to look more into him a little bit and, like, read some of his... I never watched his shows.
I didn't either. I truly was not familiar with him at all.
Yeah. I am curious, like, how his later career... Because he worked in kitchens until, like, 2005, and then he wrote Kitchen Confidential or whatever, I think in 2004. And then I'm like, but how did he transition to, like, the television shows? I'm curious.
I know. I would have liked to have known that. But I guess I figure, like, this was such a pivotal, like, formative summer for him that it's, like... Not many people know about that, whereas I feel like more people could know about, like, his later years. So I think it was actually a really good idea to do this as his story.
Yeah, exactly. But that brings us to a little bit of a sadder topic. As you probably know by now, Hayden Panettiere passed away earlier last week. I think it was a pretty big shock. Like, she recently came out with a memoir, like, last year or something.
Yeah, she did. And she has had struggles kind of, you know, in the past, sort of fairly recently, but I also think she seemed to be doing
better.
Okay, like, she was in, was she in the Scream movies recently, or was that...
I haven't seen any of them.
It doesn't matter, but I just, still, like, she, you know, she seemed to be doing maybe better, like, she had kind of stepped away from the... And Hayden Panettiere is somebody who I have always really loved. Like, I literally grew up on her. Yeah. I loved Ice Princess.
See, everyone was posting about that. I don't think I ever saw that because Michelle Trachtenberg was in that too.
Yeah, they both passed away.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's going to be so sad to watch that movie now.
Yeah. And I think also in her memoir, she calls out a lot of, like, not people specifically, but, like, just the industry in general for, like, not protecting, like, child actors, teenage actors, and, like... Because it's something like her mom had her in, like, she got started at, like, 6 months old or something crazy like that, like, in commercials, and didn't stop.
And don't even get me started on that, because did you see her mother's, like, post about her? So, like, okay, compared to her, and I don't know which TV mom posted this. I'm not sure who this actress was. I don't know which show it was from, but there was, like, an actress who plays her mom in something, and she posted a very long, like, very touching Instagram post that was, like, actually it was, like, slightly, it wasn't the most positive, but she was like, you know, Hayden was a tornado sometimes to work with. She could be really difficult, but also she really went into, like, who she was as a person, and it was, like, a touching tribute. Her mom released a statement that was just like, yeah, you know, Hollywood is really tough for kids in the industry. And it's like, you put her in. It was just like a very, it was not at all a personal, like, statement. It was very much like these two probably don't speak to each other or didn't speak to each other. It was very strange. And I just thought that was such an off-putting statement to make. Sorry, not to make this like angry, but I just thought that was very off-putting for her to make a comment like, yeah, Hollywood can be really hard for some people. And it's like, some people, you put her in the industry. But she was the one who put her. She was like 6 months old.
Yeah. And I think like it goes to show, like, you can really tell with child actors where it's like, okay, their parents protected them. Like, the point was not like the money and fame. It was like, I'm going to help my child achieve their dreams,
this dream,
but while remembering they're like still a child.
I always say that I really think the biggest difference is when the parent isn't relying on the child for like money and for financial, like Jeanette McCurdy's mom, for example, is an example of a mom who was just relying on her kid and just sending her out like to do work and just making her work. Whereas like I think about like Dakota Fanning and Elle Fanning seem very, at least they seem like they have it all together and they are truly like have a love for the craft and they seem like their lives are together. And that's because it seems like their parents were probably like not necessarily stage parents. They just they just enjoyed acting.
Or even like Zendaya, I was watching some like old interviews with her when she was like, you know, like 12 or 13. And it's like her parents are like always in the background. Like they are there. They're like, we're not letting you like be exposed to the whole world at 13 years old alone. Yeah. And I think the only difference I would say is I think of Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen, where Martin Sheen didn't obviously rely on Charlie Sheen, but like Charlie Sheen had a lot of issues and Martin Sheen was there for him every single time. He was like, I'll be at the hospital, I'll be taking you home, and I'll be looking after you. Yeah. And it made me really respect him. Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't respect him before, but like just even, I was just like, okay, you know what? He's a good dad. Where it's like, it's easy to just, I think.
It's probably not the same for all of, but I do think that tends to be the pattern. But I was so sad. And then obviously, like, I love Bring It On, All or Nothing. I love the Bring It On movies, but I always loved the Hayden Panettiere one.
Really? That one really cringed me out, even as like a kid.
It's so cringy, but I loved it. I will forever be thinking of that, like, her doing the...
I forgot that Solange Knowles is in it.
She posted a post about her, too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was... so sad. I think like everyone was just like really like hit by that. She has a daughter.
A daughter, but I don't think they talked or anything. Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, it's still sad.
I think she has like a young daughter. Yeah. But she lost. Well, we don't have to get into all this, but she did give up custody of her. But there was like a whole thing where she didn't feel like she truly had a lot of challenges in the last few years and or last years.
Which, I don't know the background, but if you're saying, like, she kind of was like, I don't think I can care for this child as
it was that she was not given the full truth of, like, to me, it sounded like it wasn't, she didn't realize she was giving up full custody or something like that. Yeah. There was a lot to it, but, and obviously it sounds like they're maybe investigating her death, too, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's been confirmed yet. So it's just very sad. It's also, like, I feel like we're just at an age where it's like the people that we grew up with have started passing away.
I know.
And it's just kind of like, wow, the precarity of life. I don't know.
But also it's shocking. I mean, I know we just talked about this already, but I mean, it's like we lost the actress that played Lilo. Like, it's just so strange that all these child actors, I mean, just truly the industry, I think, fails them. Yeah,
and it chews them up and spits them out. Yeah. And again, if you don't have the support system there, it's rough. Yeah.
On to a different topic, but I don't know what possessed me to watch this. I think I just had some time one afternoon and I just decided I was just curious. As you know, I don't want to say I'm a Kardashian fan, but it's my guilty pleasure. Yeah. I'm constantly, like, I just have Kardashians on or I have clips running. It's just like it's like Dance Moms where I feel like the fighting actually makes me feel safe.
They're an entertaining family. They're America's family.
They are an entertaining family, and that's because there's people in the family that are entertaining, and they just are great for reality. Yes. Not everyone is good for reality, and I want to preface that. Like, I want to say that, okay? Yeah. So this new show, out on Hulu called The Girls. I believe it's called The Girls, a Khloe Kardashian project.
It came up on my Hulu the other day, and I was like, there it is.
There she is. Yeah, so it's a new reality show that's produced by Khloe Kardashian about her close circle of friends. And it basically, so the cast includes, it's 6 women: Nicole Williams English, Olivia Pearson, Khadijah McCrae. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Khadijah's twin sister, Malika.
Oh, she is a Khloe friend, I think.
Yes, Khadijah, they all are Khloe friends, but Khadijah and Malika are like,
I think they were on the series.
They were on the Kardashians quite a bit. They were sort of like her sidekicks.
Yeah.
Please, I'm just kidding. Natalie Halcrow and I believe it's Iris Palmer. It's spelled weird. It's spelled with a Y, but I think they were saying Iris.
Oh, okay.
And those are supposedly her close group of friends.
Yeah.
Never, other than Malika and Khadijah, I have never heard of these other girls. I think some of the women were on a reality show together. I think it was like I forgot what the reality show was, but they were a couple of them were on a show together. Okay, so basically the show follows these women. They're like navigating motherhood, marriage, dating, business, and their friendships with one another. And Khloe serves as an executive producer, a narrator, and she does appear on screen several times, but she's like barely on the show. At one point they accidentally butt dial her, and just to like get her on the show. It's very cringy.
Ugh. Why is her name on this? Even when you look
She's
at
producing it.
Yeah.
So it's about her circle of friends, but it's not like she's not really in it. She just makes like little appearances. So yeah, you're asking yourself the right questions because it is strange. Like it is a very immediately hearing that, it's such a weird premise, right?
Yeah.
And so this is the weirdest part, okay? It's not like most shows have confessionals, and like the Kardashians have confessionals. They apparently filmed the confessionals, but they cut all of them out, and instead now Khloe narrates the whole show. So she's like giving you context as the show is going. She's giving context as to what's happening, who these people are. First of all, you start the show and you're like, who are these women?
Yeah.
And so they, for some reason, cut out their confessionals, and I think it's supposedly because she wanted to protect them. Like they were saying stuff in there that she was just like, okay. And I'm like, it's a reality show. The point is like messiness. Like, why were you if you're trying to like protect your friends, maybe don't make a reality show about them.
That's interesting. And I was gonna say, even when you like go look at the page, the way they have like the what do you call it, like the icon for the show set up is like, I think it's like the girls are in there, but then it's almost like the Teletubby baby son of Khloe Kardashian.
And let me tell you, it has that vibe that she's like over them. She's almost, and I've seen several people say this, it's giving like boss or like pimp. Like she almost feels like they're pimp or something. These are 40-something-year-old women who are just like, I never want to have this friendship in my life where it's like, no matter, even if my friend was just like so rich and famous, I never want to be in this situation where I'm like bowing down and like reporting to this friend.
That's
they're
not
like
friends.
They're like her puppet. They're puppets. It's the strangest thing. And so overall, the whole show's vibe is just bizarre. Like, again, there's no confessionals. So they're not telling, the only way the show's narrative is like, being told is her like narrating it. Yeah. And it's just strange. And so basically there's this whole, and I think I texted you about this, but there's this whole storyline where one of the girls is not wanting to share something personal about her life on the show. I think it has to do with her man. Mm-hmm. And the drama is literally about that she's not sharing stuff on the show.
Very breaking the fourth wall.
Immediately, like it's like in the first episode. And Khloe, and I think I texted you about this part because there's a part where Khloe goes, I had a problem. Producer Khloe really wanted Natalie to open up, but friend Khloe really wanted to mind my own business. And I just think that tells you, I'm just like, yeah, so why did you produce a show?
Yeah.
Like, you probably shouldn't produce a reality show about your friends. That's so strange. And there's just something so weird about seeing these 40-something-year-old women, just the way they act. They're moms, but they just seem so immature, first of all. The things that they, like, just their conversations, I'm like, these are conversations that like 20-something-year-olds have, or like even like it just seems so weird that this is the drama that's going on in your guys' lives.
Yeah. And also maybe like you can definitely tell in certain reality shows where you're just like, okay, these people are not used to having the cameras around all the time.
No.
They're definitely putting on a different performance.
Or just not even one at all, because none of them have the personalities for reality. Like Malika and Khadijah, because they were on the Kardashians, I feel like they somewhat have personalities, but even them, I mean, they really don't. They serve as sidekicks to Khloe on that show. So, on those shows. So it's like, they really can't carry a show.
Right.
None of them are interesting enough. It's actually so boring.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it.
Well, because I think when you were telling me about this the other day, I said, I was like, no offense, but out of all the Kardashian siblings, like, it would be her and Kourtney the least I'd be interested in watching a show about their friends. Like, honestly, least interested in watching a show about them, much less their associates.
Well, it's kind of like, it's interesting because I just don't think spinoffs, I think it's so rare when spinoffs are good. And the thing is, I actually, if I'm talking about the Kardashians, I think Kourtney is interesting. I think Khloe is interesting. But when they had like their spinoff shows, I was like, this is boring.
Right.
Because there's something about just needing all of the characters around their people. But you know what I mean? Like,
the cast.
Yeah, the cast, for them to like bounce off of each other. That's what makes like Khloe interesting, is because, of something that Kim does, or you know what I mean? Like, it's not interesting. Who wants to watch a show, unless you're like a massive Khloe Kardashian fan? Who wants to watch a show about her group of friends who, I'm sorry, most of them seem pretty unlikable. And also people keep being like, it's scripted, but I'm like, it literally, like, what's scripted? It has to have a storyline for it to be scripted. Kim and Khloe fighting over a Bentley in the first season of the Kardashians was scripted.
Yeah.
That was a script.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
But, like, this show just was so boring. All they're doing
I could see it being, like, the producers, like, pushing them in a certain way, and maybe it's scripted in that, and then that's where it comes in where they're, like, not good at, like, being reality TV stars, where it's like, let me make this believable but not, you know what I mean?
Well, exactly, because one of them is like not wanting to even be part of the drama. She's acting like Kourtney over here, like not wanting her stuff aired, and it's like, well, why are you doing a reality show then?
And also, I can't imagine being 40 years old and like having drama with my friend group like that. Like,
well, and they also don't seem to all be friends. They're Khloe's friends, so I don't think they're all friends with each other, and that's kind of the weird thing. Some of them maybe are, but I didn't get the idea that I think they were not all friends with each other, and this show only further supports my theory. The thing is, I think Khloe, I'm like getting into my Kardashian, like all my like
no, I love
hot
this.
takes, but my hot take is I think Khloe is not as great as everyone thinks she is. Yeah. Because she is very funny. Don't get me wrong. And I think she is very much a character. And it's why they're like, please come on the show. Like, whenever we can call you in or FaceTime you, like, please. Because she's the only one who can give something. Exactly. Yeah. But she bothers me. Because I think she's an instigator. Yeah. And this show only further supports that theory, because she's sitting here like a puppeteer, like, making them do things. But I think it's funny because her family, like, people will say, like, they'll use her as, like, a mediator on the show and stuff. And I always think that's... I feel like she loves when her friends and family fight. I have that feeling, because I've watched, like, fights on the show, and she's always the one instigating it. She'll say, like, a little comment that will set somebody off, and then they start fighting. Right. And she'll be like, oh, is there a fight happening here? Like, and she'll do that. And, like, I actually hate when people try to pretend like they're mediators in drama, and I'm like, actually, you're just an instigator. You want to watch the drama unfold.
Out of, like, the three... Well, she definitely gives, like, middle child energy. I can't even remember. Is she middle?
I guess, like, technically, but she's the youngest, so
of the original three girls?
Kourtney, Kim, Khloe, and then Kendall and Kylie.
That's so interesting, because she gives Rob, middle child energy.
I guess she is technically a middle child, because Rob is younger than her.
But, like, she seems like the least mature of the three, like, older sisters in a way.
Sometimes I think she is the most mature. It's interesting. She always seems like the oldest sister to me, but she is not. But I also I think people have this... And it's people who don't understand people like this in real life, where I'm like, no, you're not seeing, she's actually not a mediator. She's instigating the drama by like, being like, oh, like, it's something happening here, and then, like, stepping back and watching it unfold.
And you know what? I wonder if that comes from a lifetime of, like, being kind of belittled, because, I mean, let's be honest, the press have been awful to her, like, throughout her life in terms of comparing her to her sisters, and I wonder if some of that comes from, like, a okay, I have to, like, make myself, like, you know, people, like, I always say, you know, I wasn't very pretty in, like, high school and middle school, so then I was like, I'll be funny. I guess I'll be the funny one. And I think, like, maybe Khloe has a little bit...
you were. Oh. Like, not that I was there, but from photos.
Thank you. People definitely didn't treat me like that, though. But it's also middle school. But, you know, like, I think, and I'm not saying that she's not pretty, but people always treated her as,
she was, like, the fat sister.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people called her.
Which is so crazy, because she, like, was
She was.
not.
If you go back and look, it's like, oh. Like,
the early 2000s are hell. But anyways.
Crazy. But I also do think, so her personality originally on the show, and I could really go into this, but I won't. But her personality was originally, like, the fighter. Like, she would fight with, like, Kim. She would be really mean to Kim. Like, she got in that Bentley fight. Like, she was... she would, like, actually fight. And then I think she's, like, started to, because she's become, like, Kim's little puppet now. Yeah. And now it's, like, her and Kim against Kourtney. And, like, it used to be...
Kourtney and Khloe were together.
Kourtney and Khloe would make fun of Kim. Yeah, exactly. And they were, like, funny. They were, like, the two funny ones, while Kim was, like, the main character, right? Yeah. Well, now, as Khloe is, like, more trying to find her, which, by the way... Maybe Khloe popcorn cloud, whatever, is fine. I will
never eat that.
I've heard her perfume smells great, but I just think she cannot find she doesn't have a brand. I'm sorry. I don't think she does.
I literally took a Snapchat in Walmart, or not Walmart, Target a few weeks ago of her cloud popcorn. I was like, you couldn't waterboard me into, like, eating this popcorn. It's just not
you can tell she's just desperately trying to find her brand. Whereas, like, Kim has a brand, Kylie has a brand, Kendall, but, like... I just think, like, and Kourtney is, you know, they call her lazy, but I'm like, okay, well, Khloe, what is your thing? I mean, you're really hardworking, but you don't really have your own. Without Kim, you would be probably nothing.
And also, like, it's crazy to call Kourtney lazy. Like, she is wealthy and doesn't have to do anything. So, like, who wouldn't do that?
And what bothers me, too, is they're always, like, there was, like, a whole storyline. This is where it kind of all started, was, like, Kourtney wouldn't, it's like this girl on this show, she wouldn't open up and she wouldn't, like, they felt like they were putting in all the hard work and she wasn't willing to, like, do storylines.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, the whole world watched her and Scott cheat on her, and she and Scott had, like, so many storylines, and it's like, okay, sorry, like, yeah, she's probably tired now, like, but whatever, we don't have to go into all that, but I have a lot to say about that, but it's just kind of how I feel about Khloe ultimately, which is I don't think she's as, people are always like, she's queen, like, you know, she's truly, like, the mediator, and it's like, no, she's the instigator. She loves drama.
I've never thought of her as the mediator. I don't know who would be the mediator. I guess maybe the mom sometimes. But
well, yeah, she kind of is. But Khloe does gives that image of, like, always, like, being the one to like people go to, but it's like she's really I think she loves the drama. That's the vibe I get from her. I can see right through it.
Yeah.
So this show was just that ultimately, like, it makes sense that she would now produce a show to watch her friends. Like, imagine if I did that, if I got my friends together, even ones that weren't all friends, and I just said fight. Do little storylines.
It's basically like putting a bachelorette party together where you're just like, hope you guys get along, and if not, like...
But that's an event for you. She did not have to do this. You know what I mean?
That's so weird that those people would even sign up for it, because I'm sure they're doing just fine on their own. I'm sure they have no poor friends.
They're probably fine. However, I do think like the Kardashians... are the reason that they get, like, opportunities. You know what I mean? Definitely Malika, and which is actually sad for the two of them, because they were actresses. They were in
they were in
Sky High.
Yeah.
And they were, like, they're kind of iconic for that, but then they just became Khloe's, like, little, like,
friends,
sidekicks.
Like, the only reason I know them actually is from the Kardashians. I'm curious, like, I haven't heard any, like, reviews about it or anything.
I've only heard negative stuff. Pretty much, it's just most people are like, it's so weird. They are, most people think it's really weird that they cut out the confessionals and just have her narrating everything, because it's like, it's not their stories.
You know, that is an interesting reality show, like, what do you call it? Like, setup. I would be curious to see that in a more interesting setting.
The only one somebody pointed this out, and I didn't even realize this, the only other show that doesn't do that, or at least a major one that doesn't do that, is Teen Mom. They didn't have confessionals. And I guess that was like a docudrama, but I guess I never realized that.
Yeah. God, which Teen Mom, I would, like, sometimes watch clips from it, and I'm like, me too. And I will, like, rewatch clips where, like, sometimes the kids from the show will post things. I'll be like, oh my God, they're like 20 years old.
They're like teenagers now.
They're like 26.
Maybe the early, I don't know if they're 26.
Wait, no, 16. Probably.
Yeah, I was like, I think they're teenagers.
2006.
They're definitely teenagers.
2016 would be like 10 years, then
I just know from
like
the
20.
first season. Yeah, they're definitely. If even 20. I don't think they're in their 20s, but still, like, they're older. I think that show used to stress me out, though. I would actually get genuinely stressed from some of those cast members.
I think a lot about Gary buying that engagement ring from Walmart a lot. And Farrah,
she ended up being a really good dad.
Yeah.
And stepped in when Amber could not be there because she was mean as shit to him.
She was, but he kind of deserved it sometimes.
He did suck, but also, like, he ended up being a pretty good dad, I will say. From what I saw.
Farrah's haircut in her season is, like, such peak, like, 2006 to 2008, like, God. MySpace,
I know.
whatever.
But I used to think Farrah was so pretty, but she is psychotic.
Yeah.
She and Janelle would stress me out.
Oh my God, Janelle.
So bad.
Yes, and she had the gauges,
hickeys
right?
on your neck. Yeah, she had gauges.
Remember there was a couple where it was, like...
They were step siblings.
They were step siblings, yeah.
And Caitlyn and Tyler, I think. Why do I know that?
That is crazy.
That was a crazy show. I think it's maybe still on. I don't know. Like, different generations. Yeah,
I think they did. Well, MTV's not making any new content.
Oh, you're right. Maybe
they did do something like a few years ago, though, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say do not watch The Girls. I do not recommend it. Not that I would ever really, like, recommend it's something, I can't even say it's something to have on in the background because it is so boring.
Yeah. That's how I felt about the Meghan Markle show, where I was like, who's watching this?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good to know. So I just want to talk about, okay, do you know who Brooks Nader is?
No.
I didn't either, and now this is, like, the main thing I know her from. Like, I literally had to look up, like, why is this person famous? And I guess, so Brooks Nader, she won the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Search Open Casting Call in 2019, and then she was on Dancing with the Stars, and then she had the reality show, which I have heard of this, Love Thy Nader. And so people, like, are huge fans of her. Like, people really love her, but I've heard the name, I just, like, didn't know who she was.
What does she look like? Do you have a photo?
Yes, but the other photos I'm going to show you. So the reason she hit my timeline, and this is like, just, it's so stupid, but it's like, I was just like, I have to talk about this. So basically, she's 29 years old. So imagine, like, someone around our age. It was August 13th. Her and her family, they're on a little family getaway to Sardinia, Italy. They're being European. They're, like, renting a boat.
I'm so uncomfortable already.
And there were, like, paparazzi photos, and she's completely topless, like, in front of her whole family. But the photos are, like, the rest of her family is here, but if you look at the photos, it just looks like her and her dad, like, topless. Like, her, like, tits are out, like...
Is that, like...
And nobody else...
Do some families do that? Like, is that, like, is that, like, a...
Like, this is her and her family.
With your body? Because I don't want to, like, body shame. Like, I don't want to... No. You know how some families are nudists, though.
Okay, some families are. They are from, like, Louisiana, so I don't think they are.
That's wild.
And if they were, nobody else is nude. Like, nobody else seems to be topless. It's just her. And it's crazy. Like, it's like you're there with, like, your dad and your family, but, like, I do think the strangest part is just, like, her tits are just kind of, like, dangling in her dad's face in some of these pictures, where, again, it's like... It shouldn't be creepy because, like, your dad shouldn't think of you that way, but it just is overtly creepy to just, like, have just full tits out in front of your dad. And
that gives me the shivers.
People were like, oh, well, it's Europe, like, people do topless
That's
stuff.
That's what I was kind of getting at, but also, like, but I'm sure their family does not do that, so that's so wild.
And also, like, Europeans were commenting on it where they're like, I'm European and I wouldn't do this with my dad.
With your dad, yeah.
Like, you're like, yeah, you'll be topless, like, with your friends or, like, your, like, spouse or something.
Romantic partner.
To just, like, full, like, and again, nobody else
Dangling in front of your dad is wild.
It's crazy. And, like, it was like, she kind of,
okay, the photo is of him, like, getting up on the boat, like, climbing the ladder. Can you imagine if he didn't know that she was doing that and he just gets up on the boat and she's just there?
No, I mean, but I guess he knows. I mean...
It's just such a funny image.
Like, literally, like, he's like, he'll, like, hand her things.
Ew!
And, like, she's just...
I'm sorry. I'm really not trying to shame family dynamics, but that's strange.
That is so strange. Also, if you're a nude family, tops and bottoms gotta go. You know what I mean? Like, not just... That's, like... And people are like, oh, they're just nipples. I'm like, it's strange, okay?
Yeah.
Like, just with your dad,
you
that's
free the
weird.
nipple, not with your dad.
Yeah, like, that, I think we can all tuck them in. In fact, put a shirt on your dad, too, probably. Like, let's imprison all those nipples again, okay?
Let's imprison all those nipples.
I think that's maybe
this is really
too
when
much.
I wish we named the episode still.
Yeah.
Let's imprison those nipples. That's
no
so
context.
funny.
It's like crazy. And so she was like not really getting why it was a big deal. So she like posted another post to like poke fun at people. And she did this Instagram post where she captioned it, "Are we happy now?" And she put on her Instagram story, and instead of like being topless, she's wearing a full outfit. So she's wearing like black Gucci halter dress and stiletto heels and jumping in the water with like her model boyfriend.
It's not about being in the water. It's about being around your family.
Yeah, it's not. Also, it's like not even about being clothed. It's just like about like motorboating your dad. You know,
maybe
like,
some families
crazy.
are just really like that.
I guess.
She seems surprised. She's like, "What? Like, you guys don't do this?"
Yeah, like, but again, no one else is in her family. Like, her whole family.
I feel like we're being gaslit.
I don't know, but I'm just like, I had to bring this up because I was like, this is straight. Like, this is what I know her from now.
That makes me wonder if they just do that at home.
In Louisiana or what?
Why is she doing it there?
Shot.
Yeah, they would be shot.
You know, like, I'm just like, this is great. So anyways, I, like, didn't even know her from any of this. Like, I knew her tits before I knew her.
This is my introduction.
Yeah, and then I was like, who is this person again? I had heard the name. I do think Love Thy Nader is a clever, like, show for their reality.
Yeah.
Or title for their reality show, but...
Nader nipples.
Yeah, they're loving thy Nader in that family, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Nader nipples.
Crazy.
Anyway, so I just had to share that with you.
Thank you.
That was wild.
It's disturbing, but thank you.
Yeah, that was an enjoyable one. Something else that I also, like, didn't expect to talk about. Have you heard of the 5-Star Weekend?
No. No.
So this is a Peacock show that just came out. I think it's like 6 or so episodes. I watched it in like 2.5 days. And it is...
Is this the beach one?
Yeah, they're like on Nantucket. It is like
I've
peak,
heard this,
like wealthy white woman.
Yep, I have heard about this.
And here's the thing:
is Regina Hall in it?
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, sometimes you're just like, oh, this is just like a white woman living her best life, being wealthy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's a lot of comfort in that,
and
you know?
There's a place for that.
And I feel like we've had so many shows where it's like wealthy white families getting murdered.
Like, there's a place for white women.
Yeah.
That sounded crazy.
We need to build a place for them. There's one
sounded crazy.
part of society that needs more.
Is Timothy Olyphant in it too?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know who I always think he looks like? Did you ever watch that movie, the Disney Channel original movie Brink?
Is that like an ice skating one or no?
No, they're like, hang on, I'm gonna pull up his face.
There's a couple people he reminds me of as well. I think he's so hot. I love him so much. He's also
this guy. It's a skating movie. He looks like him. Have you seen?
Maybe it's his
Timothy Olyphant.
Okay, I can kind of see that actually.
Right? Like, I literally looked up because I didn't know it was him. I was like, is that the guy from Brink?
Let me ask you a question. Does Timothy Olyphant play like a sheriff or some kind in this show?
No,
if
but he
not,
might as well.
that is okay. Because I was gonna say, if not, that is a first for him.
Really?
He always plays like a sheriff, like some type of like law,
he's.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But I was going to say, too, he's also, like, the funniest person ever. I love him.
He is. But it was interesting because he's, like, a Nantucket, like, local born and raised. But I was like, if you put a 10-gallon hat on this man, also seems fine. You know what I mean? Like, he sometimes would have, like, a southern accent.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, you're in Massachusetts. But anyways, so basically, and it's based on a book by Elin Hilderbrand, which she is basically, like, do you remember the Sarah Dessen novels of our youth?
Well, I read her book, The Wedding...
The Wedding... No.
The couple...
Perfect Couple.
The Perfect Couple. There we go. Because I always wondered, I was like, did she do any other murder mysteries? But I don't think she mostly does, like, beach stories.
Like, it really reminds me of, you definitely will recognize, like, these books from, like, our growing up. Like, the books, they were, like, young adult books, and they would kind of look like this, and it'd be, like, they all took place in, like, North Carolina. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know.
They were really popular when we were growing up. Like, just listen. Anyways, it's like that for adults, where they all the stories take place on Nantucket. Elin Hilderbrand's from Nantucket. Mm-hmm. And this is, like, I guess, a very popular one. And it stars Jennifer Garner, who's perfectly cast in this.
Yeah.
She is primed to play, like, a homemaker, like, again, wealthy white woman comforting. There's actually
hair blowing, that perfect hair blowing in the breeze. I haven't seen her act in something in a really long time.
No. And you know what? While I was watching this, she seems like the sweetest person. I was going to text you. I was like, imagine being Ben Affleck, cheating on her.
I know.
And looking at that sweet face and knowing that you made it that upset.
It's crazy. People, I think that's partially why people hate him. Like, a lot of people hate him, or he went so downhill. It's like, can't believe you did that.
That's crazy.
I mean, to cheat on anyone, obviously, but like, that's just so crazy. She seems like such a nice person. Also, her daughters are awesome. Her older daughter, who looks exactly like
just
both of
like
them.
her.
Yeah, but really like her. She is like, I don't know. She's super like vocal. Like she speaks about like I think she spoke
really
out about
smart,
COVID,
right?
and like she did like a lot of.
Well, Ben Affleck's like
he is really smart.
Yeah.
Actually,
and I'm sure Jennifer Garner is too.
Yeah.
Not to doubt her, but. So Jennifer Garner, Timothy Olyphant, Gemma Chan. She was in Crazy Rich Asians, which I still can't believe you haven't seen. Such a good movie. But this is like the first thing she was in. Regina Hall, Khloe Sevigny, which there was an interview with her. I think it was the Today Show. It made her laugh, where she was like, "This is definitely different from what I usually do."
It definitely is. I'm shocked.
She said she was like, "I read the script," and she was like, "I knew this is something that my mom could go to her friends and be like, oh, my daughter is in that," and they all be like, "That was really
nice." Her legs cut off and like
having like a paraplegic or whatever it was. That was crazy.
What is
an American Horror Story.
Her mossy baby.
Yes, and Darcy Carden, who I love from The Good Place, but you would recognize her from Barry.
Yeah.
And I want to see her in more stuff. Like, even in this, she really shines. Like, she's a side character, but she really shines, like, as an actress. I love her so much. But basically, the premise is Jennifer Garner's husband passes away unexpectedly, and she's, like, it's 6 months later, and she's trying to, like, get over her grief. And so she is, like, a very famous, like, she's almost like a half-baked Harvest kind of person, where it's like she is very famous for like recipes and homemaking and stuff online, like as an influencer. And her publicist is like, you should invite 5 friends from each stage of your life to have a girls' weekend to remind you of like who you are. So she does, and like Khloe Sevigny is like the lifelong friend from Nantucket. Regina Hall is the college friend. Darcy Carden is the like mom friend, and now Gemma Chan's character, this is a slight spoiler, but it happens in the first episode. This is crazy. This character is fucking nuts, because you find out in the first episode, so they became friends online as she was like, oh, she's one of my fans, and they became friends after her husband passed away, Jennifer Garner's husband, and you find out that Gemma Chan had been having an affair with Jennifer Garner's husband. So you find out throughout the show that basically, like, she was in love with Jennifer Garner's husband when he died, which she found out from Jennifer Garner's, like, public, media page, decided to reach out to Jennifer Garner, pretend that she was grieving the death of her mother or something, to bond over grief. They became very close, like, talked all the time, never had met in person, and then went so far as to go to Jennifer Garner's home when she invites her for a weekend, knowing I had a relationship with your husband for 10 months, and he was actually, when he died, was on the way to go to Paris with me.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy. People are like, I can't believe you would spend a weekend in her house. Like, it's insane. And so you kind of are waiting, like, the whole show for that, like, other shooter drop.
Don't go into too much, though, because I might watch it.
Okay.
So
you should. I think you will like it. Like, I blew through it. Like, there's something comforting about it. It's very enjoyable. And I think, like, all of the women each have their own backstory and their own interesting, like, character arcs and the things that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's also, the property porn is amazing. I actually don't understand how they would afford, like, the house that they have on Nantucket is, like, a Roy family house. And he's, like, I guess he's, like, a surgeon in Boston, and she just started, like, becoming famous with her business. And I'm like, still, this is a crazy house for you guys to own. And Khloe Sevigny's character, I think, is done very well. Her hair looked phenomenal in it, and it's just, like, it is a very comforting show about a bunch of, like, wealthy women in their, like, 50s, and they're having a good time.
I love that.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a quick watch. It's on Peacock.
It's always fun when you see, like, actresses, too, like, at a certain age still, like, I don't want to be, like, still get roles, but I feel like there's just not a lot of space for them in things anymore, and I'm glad to see when they do get roles, and, like, interesting roles, too.
Also, if you watch on Peacock, as of, like, right now, when I finished it the other day, no commercials.
On Peacock?
Yeah. on streaming lists.
Why?
I don't know, but it's definitely built in. Like, they have the pauses between
I wonder
scenes.
if yours just glitched and it's, like, for some reason.
For all the episodes. I don't know.
That's
like,
crazy.
They're definitely coming. They built in places for commercials. You know what
I mean? Peacock's going to hear this and be like, shit.
Yeah. The word is out.
Yeah.
I mean, this show's been out for, like, a month, so.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you should watch it. I think you would like it.
I do like the cast a lot.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about today is Margaret Qualley's fugly ass shoes.
We have to talk about it.
It actually, like, enraged me.
Also, that's dirty.
Dirty. So if you don't know, literally the subheading for this note, it's just all bolded, Margaret Qualley fugly shoes.
Yeah.
This is how much it pissed me off. So she was at the premiere for the new movie, The Dog Stars, which is like the Jacob Elordi movie that's coming out.
I do want to see that.
I do want to see that, but not if her toes are out.
You better not watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood then, because her feet are out. And they're dirty.
And I don't mean to foot shame anyone. Yeah, she seems like she would have dirty
feet.
That's
not
a
her,
lot.
though. That's a Tarantino thing.
Yeah, but she doesn't. Her feet are, like, not particularly stunning or anything to be, like, just on display like this. I think
they're free. Like, they're feet that belong to, like, a free soul. Like, you know what I mean? She's
Literally.
also because she was a ballet dancer, so she's a ballerina. So I think she has, like... I know, I was going to say, I think she has, like, nice feet, but she...
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Ballerinas don't have nice feet. Their feet are traditionally, like, very, like, busted. Like, God bless them. But anyway, so she shows up to the Dog Stars premiere in these sandals, and we're just going to describe them to you. They're Chanel, and they're missing the front. So basically, it only has a black heel, 2 ankle straps, and no sole. So it's like it's covering, like, the back of her heel, and then I thought it was covering, like, the bottom of her heel too, but I guess not. But no soles to them. And as she's walking, you can see the bottom of her feet immediately dirty. So dirty. And I, like, loved the comments because we were like, imagine going to the bathroom wearing those shoes.
Ew, yeah.
And so she was styled by Danielle Goldberg, who's done, like, Greta Lee and Zoe Kravitz. And I think this was a crime. Like, I think it kind of, like, stole the show of the premiere.
Right.
Because everyone was like, that is hideous. Like, why? And I'm here to say... Okay, I'm adding this to my list of shoes that piss me off recently, because the first shoe, and I'm sorry if you like these, but those tabby shoes that everyone's been wearing where they look like a cloven hoof, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Fuck those shoes. Why are you wearing them? They look so uncomfortable. Yeah. You're not a goat. Take them off your feet. That's insane.
Do you want to hear my favorite ones?
Yeah.
Julianne Moore's feet, like, sticking out of those sandals at a premiere. Have you seen those?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, you have to. Hold on, pause. It's the funniest thing. It's like her toe, I don't mean this in a mean way, but, like, her toes are, like, sticking out. They're, like, gnarled. They're sticking out of, like, they're not gnarled, but they're, like, fully just, like, sticking out.
I've seen this. Yes, that is
Why
so
did they
funny.
do that?
She had to, like, when she put those shoes on to try them on, she wasn't like, I need a bigger size. Like, that's crazy.
Apparently she explained, it was at Cannes.
She's like, this is the style.
It's not going to let me, the cut won't let me read the article. She apparently explained it. She talks Toe-mageddon.
Toe-mageddon.
L won't fail me. Let's see. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Oh, she talked about... No, she did not go on Jimmy Fallon to talk about it.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of a pretty big deal. You've got both pinkies out.
She revealed that she has taken drastic measures to prevent it from ever happening again.
What would that be? Getting your right shoe size? Like, she cut off one of her toes?
She joked that she cut off her toes. But
okay.
It won't let me read the full article for some reason. It's being crazy. Anyway.
That's crazy. The other shoe that I hate recently, have you seen this? They're called, Haveninas. And they were recently, like... Where I'm just like, I think we've gotten, like, the shape of the shoe down by now. Like, I don't think we need to be coming up with new types of shoes like this. This is, like, it's so ugly. Like, okay, so they look like this. And they were, like, huge on the runway. Everyone's been talking about them, and they were in vogue. They were like, yay or nay? Why would I want this? It just covers your big toe.
Yeah. And why is it yay? Like, what about it is yay?
Yeah, like, why? It
nay.
seems, once again, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which I know people in fashion don't care about that. But also makes your foot look fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
It looks like the other side of a flip-flop.
It looks like your shoe is the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, it
like,
does.
That's
also her toes. Like, come on now.
Yeah, this isn't. Come on now.
Come on.
Put those toes away.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're going a little crazy on the shoe game here.
Yeah.
Get those hooves out. Those piss me off more than anything. And I've seen them in real life. I've seen people wearing them. And I'm sorry if you do. I hate them. I truly get them out of here.
Sorry to our cloven hoof fans out there.
And
cloven hoof. That's not a word.
No, it is. Like a cloven hoof is
right.
like a goat or like whatever Satan is.
It didn't sound right to me. Yeah.
Remember when they made the Satan shoe, Lil Nas X?
Yes, yeah.
And he put a little drop of his blood in each one? What a time. What a time to be alive.
I hope he's doing well. He wasn't doing well
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. I think from you, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, so I just had to go off about these shoes. I could not handle it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did see all that, and that was wild, and I hope she washed her feet afterwards, because you know that carpet is dirty. Though, yeah, the bathroom.
Do you think she did? She seems like a free soul where she just, like, rolls into bed.
What do you think Ridley Scott thought when he saw them?
I don't know. I was about to say, what about Jack Antonoff, but they're not together anymore, and maybe he's like,
maybe that's why. Maybe he's going through, like, she's going through, like, a mid-foot crisis.
Yeah, maybe. She's like, no Jack, no feet. Yeah. No Jack, no shoes, you know?
Yeah.
No service.
No problem.
Yeah. What if they, like, turned her away at the door? Problem. They were like, no shoes,
so,
ma'am.
Like, we're sorry. We know you're the star of this movie, but you have to wear shoes.
You have to cover those toes. That's insane.
Anyway.
Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. As always, thanks for joining us. Please like, rate, review, subscribe. I hope that you share this with your friends who wear all kinds of shoes, but especially not those.
Yes.
And we hope you have a good week, and let us know what you're watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.